So these are awesome micro abilities that a Zerg have, and I borrowed those just in case he might have spotted them. I didn't want him to see them. Gonna have to run those Mutalisks into my queen, and I get to use fungal growth now. Look at that. It keeps the Vikings in place, and I can bring my Mutalisks back to try and do some damage. Fungal growth does damage to them as well, and it keeps them in spot. So I really, really want to learn how to use infestors better, and this is a great game to learn how to use them because I desperately need them in a game like this. He's getting a lot of units all blocked together, so infestors are great for dealing with that sort of stuff. Big old chunks of units. Get yourself some infestors. I've rarely used infestors, so I'm very new to them. I don't think they're as bad as people think they are. I just think they're underrated. But they could certainly do with being smaller, because at the moment they're just big hit-me targets right now. So I'm going to have to see what I can do here. Can't get too much damage in there with my Mutalisks, not with him guarding it. I'll go for another expansion since it's going to be difficult for him to get around. I've also borrowed a Baneling here, not so much for the purpose of actually exploding, but this is a neat little trick you might want to do. This is why I think Burrow is a brilliant ability. It takes quite a while to upgrade and you need the lair to get it. But it's, I mean, Zerg, it should be a crucial thing for Zerg because it's a cool ability. I'm obviously not going to blow up my Banelings versus SCV. I'll just hotkey a couple of muters to go for him so he doesn't see all the muters. Now, anyway, as I was saying, or I might have to say in a moment because I'm just going to do another explosion. Are we going to watch this? Oh yes. He kind of made the same mistake twice there. Now, logic would dictate that what you should do in that situation is just simply live and learn. Now, fungal growth goes down in those metaphags, allowing me to pick them off with my Mutalisks, which is just awesome. But I was going to say scanner sweep here. Now, can I finally get to this before any action happens? I'm just going to pause it, to be quite frank, because stuff is happening all the time, so I'd not even get a chance to cover it. Yes, the Baneling. Borrowed here. It doesn't have to be a Baneling, it could be a Zerg, it could be an Infestor, or it could be a Roach, it could be whatever. But if you basically borrow it right here, this is where an enemy would have to build their command center, nexus, or hatchery. But if you've got your Baneling, Zergling, Infestor, Roach, etc., Hydra, oh my god, any of those units, whatever, if you've got something borrowed inside of that spot, they cannot build it. It will just come up with an error message for them. Now, if they've had experience versus it, they'll know that there's a unit there and they can either scan a sweep or do some sort of AoE attack there, maybe, something like that. Find a way to kill it. But against relatively new players that aren't used to it, that will really screw with their heads. So that's a little tip that I'll give you that you might want to try and use. And it's just an awesome thing. It only costs you one unit. It's particularly good to do with Zerglings, obviously. That's only 25 minerals. And you can hold them back a bit. They may kill it off relatively quickly, but it will still hold them off and put them off. And it gives you scouting as well. Obviously, I can see what he's going to do. I could see he's intending to expand if he sends an SCV there, so I know his intentions. So anyway, let's continue with the game. It's right near the end, so this should be it now. So he's got all of his units close together here. I'm going in. All out. Go, go, Banelings. Send them in first. Get the Zerglings in to take up the damage. The Banelings get in there. Can they do much? Yes, they can. The fungal growth was on top of those Marines. That stopped them from moving. Not that they had anywhere to go, but that's the whole idea, I think, of using infestors, is to basically use fungal growth on the enemy, especially Terran here, I think, more than any other race, because they get their units quite blocky, and their Zerg units usually move too fast. So Terran units are quite slow, and they're all blocked together, so you put a fungal growth on their block of units and then charge some of your Zerglings in to soak up the first initial damage that the Marines and Marauders are going to be throwing at them, and then hopefully by that time all the Zerglings are dead. If you've thrown enough of them, just enough, you don't want to throw too many, just enough to put them off, and then your Banelings can go and blow them all up. That's the idea, that's the plan. And that's why you really need to use infestors. I actually borrowed my infestors. They can borrow, by the way. It's pretty much what you do with infestors, as far as I understand it, is you use their abilities and then you borrow them, because otherwise they will die fast. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this game. I mean, you should have done. This is definitely one of my better games, for sure. I mean, granted, I made a lot of mistakes. I certainly wasn't perfect in this game. There's a lot of things I could have done better. As you can see, I got 2,000 minerals at this point, because I was concentrating so much on the fight, I completely lost control of my macro. So, yeah, but it wasn't... I didn't have that many minerals for that long. It's only because I got the free bases up. But, yeah, as we can see, there was a lot to learn from this game, and there was a lot that was going on. So, I certainly learned from it, from our mistakes, etc. And yeah, there it is. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, rate and comment. This has been WTii signing off.